Welcome back, guys and girls. We've approached the halfway point of our Game of the Year countdown. This is where things get really tricky. Yes, in fact, games number 5 and number 4 were the most difficult for me to select out of all my choices. I started off this list with 16 games, slowly whittled it down to 10, and then had to arrange those 10 in a very, very particular order. 5 and 4 gave me the most trouble. I was so infinitely confused about which games to place in these two spots. Time for a dance break before we get started. Whew, okay, I feel prepared now, I feel ready. Let's reveal the next winner. Game number 5 of 2012 is Halo 4. Halo 4 was probably my favorite straight-up shooter of the year. I qualify those games as Borderlands 2, Black Ops 2, and Halo 4. And again, like I mentioned, ordering those 3 games was the most difficult task of this entire process, but I placed Halo 4 above the rest, mainly for its successful single-player campaign. I finished no other campaign in any game of 2012 faster than Halo 4. Now granted, the storyline is a bit on the short side, but I must give it due credit for pulling me along relentlessly. There is enough cool story beats, enough cool moments to drag you through that game at a very, very speedy rate. Now, Halo 4 does not climb higher because I feel like it is the most remarkable game of the year. It does everything very well, looks gorgeous graphically, some nice upgrades with the transition from Bungie to 343, but nothing that stands above and beyond like, wow. These 4th games, these 6th games, these 3rd games, after a certain point, I guess my mind just doesn't get the same emotional response the 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time, 6th time around. But nonetheless, Halo 4 has amazing moment-to-moment combat. I like the addition of some new enemies. It really made me wonder, like, why did Bungie never add any other enemies? Don't you think they could have done far more with this game if they expanded out to farther reaches of the universe much earlier in the series? Now, granted, maybe they wanted to stay very, very true to a specific storyline, a specific set of lore, but I feel like expanding out the Halo universe while still maintaining a focus on gameplay mechanics is the best thing to happen to this franchise in years. Halo 4 is probably my favorite Halo single-player campaign of all time, and I enjoyed it for every reason that I enjoyed the past Halo games, but this one just felt very devoid of fluff, devoid of flood, devoid of annoying missions. I'm not the biggest fan of the flying levels. I still think that they control a bit awkwardly. I still think that hovering around and strafing in a helicopter is not the most exciting thing to be doing, and I thought the ending was a bit of a letdown. I don't want QuickTime events to end my Halo 4 game. But anyways, it all in all was a fantastic ride through what I thought was a fair variety of levels with an inclusion of 2 new stellar enemies. You had the robotic dogs and the robotic disappearing twirling gypsies, whatever they're called, I don't remember. Prometheus. What a disappointing movie. This game, though, did not disappoint. Many people worried about the transition, like I mentioned, from Bungie to 343, and I thought 343 held up their end of the bargain perfectly well. Very excited to see what happens with Halo 5 in the next generation, and subsequently Halo 6, and probably Halo 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, until the end of time. But for right now, Halo 4 puts its mark down pretty well. I am confident and very clear that 343 will do a great job ushering Halo into the next generation. On the multiplayer end of things, they do an equally good job. The game feels a little bit fresh with some of the new mechanics and some of the additions that make it a little more Call of Duty. Everything drifts in that direction after a while, whether you're Assassin's Creed or you're Halo or whatever you are. You all go towards the upgrades and towards the leveling up, the progression that keeps people coming back for more. But this time, I really did enjoy. I liked a few of the tweaks. I liked kill streaks and how you get a random upgrade instead of this very specific thing. Some people may argue that that's for the worst, but some people may like it better. I fall into that later camp. I did not get into Halo 4 multiplayer as much as I did Black Ops 2. I would actually put Black Ops 2 multiplayer above Halo 4 multiplayer, but for me, the Halo 4 campaign rises far above any Call of Duty campaign, and therefore I must elevate it above any of those other military shooters. Halo has that very strange effect of pulling me into a franchise's history unlike any other. I find myself Wikipediaing things after the game, going back and remembering old characters, old locations, old plot points. Very few games do that. It's a really rare franchise that makes me go online and search out more information. Most games are like, you know, you pop it in, you play it, you pop it out, boom. But Halo is one of those, I'm like, I want to be more part of this world, and I don't know what it is. Master Chief is growing a little bit thin on me. I liked Cortana and the things that they did with her in this game. I thought that was quite interesting, and again, I did like the extra locales and the introduction of a new race of aliens for a Master Chief to take down. Aliens are always a good time. The mech was also pretty cool. Halo 4 very well deservedly earning my number 5 spot for 2012.
Jeez, it's...
Holy crap. Oh, number 4. Number 4, how I hate you so. Number 4 was the most frustrating placement of any game for me. I wanted this game to be at 3, 2, or 1. I could not find a way. Number 4 is the ever-fantastic Far Cry 3. This game drives me up a wall. I think that mechanically and fundamentally, Far Cry 3 is probably the best game of the entire year. I think it has the most exciting overall game stuff going on. It just wasn't my favorite experience. I wanted to like the game more on a moment-to-moment basis than I did. I notice its perfection. I take note of all the things it does so well, but it does not make my heart feel like Skittles 100% of the time. As saddening as it is, the game is an absolute masterpiece in terms of overall execution. They create a very lively open world full of animals, enemies, but don't make it so dense that you're frustrated. Far Cry 2 was one of the most absurdly annoying games of all time, as you constantly moved from point A to point B, getting attacked by these annoying armed guards, and point A to point B was all of like 15 feet, and you'd get attacked like 6 times. Here they allow you to clear out regions. You can basically set up your own fantasy. If you want the whole island to be peaceful and fun, go do the bases first. If you enjoy sneaking around and taking down those dumb pirates, why do they always wear red shirts? Then you can do that at your own leisure. I love the freedom and the flexibility, and I really do feel like this is the perfect level of open world. Not so open that you get lost and bored, not so tightly pathed that you feel like you're being ushered down a hallway, just right in the middle, like a happy salad. The gunplay feels really good. I like that there is a little bit of an RPG system. I mean, for the most part, it's basically pointless. After a while, you begin to realize that those stat boosts don't do so much for you. Unlocking the new takedowns and unlocking some of those extra perks is quite beneficial, but for the most part, that game would be almost identical with or without that system, which is my biggest disappointment. If they're going to go RPG, give me something closer to Oblivion than just a few point upgrades that don't matter much. But the characters are very well done. I love Voss. I love some of the tertiary characters that you run into. I don't like Jason. I don't like sort of that main Brofist crew, and I feel like the story falls apart in a lot of areas due to the strange mix of serious story, action movie, and then complete just like PG-13 high school beer fest. It strikes a very strange balance that I don't think was ever well achieved. They talked about wanting to tell this deep insanity, Alice in Wonderland, crazy storyline, and for the most part, I think they missed the mark. Voss is one of my favorite characters of the year, and deservedly one of the best villains of this generation. But that doesn't save the story from overall mediocrity. Nonetheless, there is nothing better than seeing a tiger, throwing down some C4, and blowing him to the sky. Or if you're an animal preserver, just letting him roam on by. But from the different suits that I won't mention that you can use, to all of the vehicles, to all of the guns, they really just... Man, this game is good. I wish I could place it higher, and maybe in another year I could. But this year there are some games that I enjoyed more. Far Cry 3 is the most sound game that I played this year. Granted, there's some graphical slip-ups, there's some technical issues, but I think that as an overall design doc, Far Cry 3 nails all the things it needs to nail and creates a fantastic experience that I really appreciate. I find myself going, dang, this is a good game, and while I don't play it as much as I would like, and while I'm not as personally invested as I would have liked, it gives me hope for what happens next from the Far Cry franchise, or from what happens next from the Elder Scrolls franchise, or from the Fallout franchise, if they can take some of these other games and mix them together. I would like to see them take the Oblivion level of customization and mix that up with the Fallout intricacy of place, like I find myself enjoying the locales in Fallout the most, and then add in the sweet gunplay as well as the awesome fluidity of Far Cry 3 and blend it together in a beautiful graphical showpiece with perfect game mechanics and basically make my favorite game of all time. Can you please do this for me, some developer? I don't care if it's Bethesda, or if it's Ubisoft, or if it's Crytek, or if it's whoever, but make the game I want to be made, and then you will win my heart. You'll make it Skittles, you'll make it smile, and you'll make it to #1. But for right now, for this year, for 2012, Far Cry 3 sits firmly at numero 4. George Foreman Grill, man. See you later. Fly that flag. The blue side, baby. Whoa, 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 guys and girls, the list is now 60% done. You know 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4 top 3 is yet to be revealed. Can you guess what is there? Can you guess what is missing? We will see you guys soon next time for the follow-up game. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think of the games I picked this time around? Let me know your experiences with Halo 4, Far Cry 3, and maybe what you think is coming up in 3, 2, 1. I guarantee there are a couple surprises up there, as well as some that you could probably guess, but it is not over yet. We have videos left to go, games to be revealed, fun to be had. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you are enjoying the countdown of the top 10 games of 2012, hit that like button, add your favorites. It means a ton. Comment and subscribe if you're ready for more. And until that time, guys and girls, drink so much. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you all later.
Oh my god, here. Ah! Ew, you guys are gross. You. Are you guys twins or are you married? What's up? Halo 4, thank you. Oh my! Pushy yikes. Let's go. Oh god, here we go. In the jungle.